Hello everybody, this is Toys R Us, and for this new figure showcase and review we're going to be looking at the Legacy United 4-pack. This is Cyberverse Tarn. So in this video we're going to have a detailed look at him in both his modes, help you decide how you want to display him. We're going to compare him to the other two uses of the mould. We can see how he looks against some of the other figures that come in this exclusive pack, and as always we will bring in some other figures from other toy lines just to see how he looks and displays with all of them as well. So as I start to move all these out of the way, I'd like to remind anybody who's not subscribed to the channel, if you'd like to hit that subscribe button for me now please, because it really will help me out. And the other is to say a huge thank you to Hasbro, who have very kindly allowed me to borrow this 4-pack so I can get all of these reviews done officially for you guys. So let's start off with looking at the packaging. This is the third figure I have reviewed from this particular set, so if you want to you can see Squeeze Play and Cliff Jumper already, and I'll be getting around to Tarantulas very soon. So yes guys, there is the plastic window back in the box, which I think is pretty much essential when you've got a 4-pack like this. The old Buzzworthy packs, which of course is what this is continued from, didn't look as good with them all covered up. So we can see there, let me bring that into focus, there is the brilliant artwork there for Cyberverse Tarn. It is a very unfair versus pack. It is poor old Cliff Jumper against these three Decepticons, and I've already mentioned that it is pretty much the same mold. You can see that there. You're just going to see a few paint differences as well in the figure. You'll probably also have noticed that I've already uploaded the tutorial video, so if you want to see the transformation process, it's on that. And also, as I said, it is a tutorial, so it can help you out as well. So if I bring in very quickly the original Tarn and the new one we've got there, you're going to see more of the differences in robot mode, but it's pretty obvious straight away that the track treads are black here. This they're saying is the comic book universe, this they're saying is the Cyberverse universe. Now what I really like about this is, to be honest, when this figure came out, the original, I didn't really know too much about it, and it's always great to learn new things about new figures. The good thing with this is the instructions, they're so multifunctional. You can, not the instructions, the accessories are so multifunctional. You can have a good play with either of with the front guns. You can position these however you want to. There's some lovely, as I say, paint apps going in the red there. I think that's, yes it is, it's actually translucent plastic on the underside. The translucent plastic is also in the cannons, and once again, you can mess around with these. You can put them on top of where the forearms are if you want. You can have one either side of that, which is great. You can take the large sword, you can attach this anywhere you wanted to. You could even put this bit either on that tab there. It doesn't go in too good, but it will go there, and this enables you to spin it all the way around. Or you could actually see there's two cutouts there in what we know to be the shins. You can attach this via there, and once again you've got this sort of rotating turret. You can attach the sword to it as well. The sword is of course just a repaint from the bludgeon use of the mold. Can I get that to fit in there? Typically right now I actually can't, even though I've had it in there just before. Anyway, I'm not going to bother wasting any more time doing that. I'm going to show you some of the things, as I say, that you can do. So if we attach these to the side, they are, I believe, to be blast effect compatible. I'm pretty sure they are. Let's have a look. Yes, there they are. So of course you can do some pretty amazing scenes with this. There's so many 5mm ports on this particular figure that you really have, you're spoiled for choice, to be honest, on things that you can do with it. So there's there's about 4 or 5 just on this centerpiece alone. You can see there's all these here, all them there, and indeed there's the ones on the side of the treads as well. So if you've got this positioned correct, you can actually have this not get in the way of the tracks and how it moves around, and you could still display. So you can take all the other Tarn guns if you wanted to. Let's have a little go at that actually, because I'm sure that'll look pretty good, and you can just completely overpower it. And I'm sure that people like Bot Bender etc will have done maybe things like this, or maybe combining them all, and that's what I really like about him, because at the end of the day, let's be honest, these are toys and these are meant to be played with, and the fact that you can do all these little different things with them just makes it so much better. I'm going to take them off before I forget which ones it's off. Now, although it's a Voyager class, when he's in this particular mode, he's not that big, and you'll see that compared to your standard Voyager class sort of Seeker, which is of course much bigger. This is a deluxe drag strip, which again is quite a big deluxe, and Tarn isn't that much bigger, in all honesty. Way bigger And then the little Jurassic Park Jeep though. So I think the thing with this is it's, again, the accessories and the articulation and the engineering that's gone into it. To be honest, there isn't really much more to say about this. Unfortunately, there's no rolling wheels. These are fused or molded on, shall we say, rather than anything else. I'm just wondering if I could pop, you could even take these off and put these into the 5mm port. So yeah, so the display options and the play factor is abundant in abundance with this, but that's pretty much all there is to show you and say about the alternate mode. Let's come back and have a look at him in his robot mode and get the proper comparisons done. So here he is then in his robot mode, and as I've already mentioned, the transformation process is separate loaded, and that's mainly to the fact as well that it's a tutorial, because sometimes this chest bit pops off and loads of other things. So if you struggle or are having the same issues, you can see how to remedy and rectify it. I really like this mold, and as I said in the first part, I like it because it made me learn something about particular characters that I didn't really know much about. And again, I've got to confess this, I've never seen the Cyberverse episodes with him in, so please do let me know in the comments if this is a good representation of how he looked. So let's bring it in, and you can see now all the different paint apps. There's quite a few on the head there. It's got a bit of a jigsaw look like from the Saw films, which obviously older viewers may be able to relate to that. Again, we've had a look that's translucent there. That looks like it's translucent in the back, so I imagine we've got some light piping as well there. In fact, let's have a look if we have, because if we have, that's a lovely little bonus. Can't really tell, a little bit, but only on the top of the forehead rather than because it's paint rather than in the eyes. So that's a bit unfortunate. I think that would have made it look just even that bit better. Obviously, you've got the new paintwork on the chest. I'm just seeing if there's any actual molding differences, and to be honest, I can't see any at all. So if I bring in the original owner of the mold, which is of course the comic book universe Tarn, what I do like to do though is display them all differently. So if I have got multiple copies of the same mold, it's always fun to do pretty much exactly what I've got going on here. Now this bludgeon, it's okay, I like the mold, so I don't understand like I'm contradicting myself, but my bludgeon is G1, and I'd have loved to have seen bludgeon in a sort of a G1 thing, even though rather than this particular version of him. Right, so the swords are exactly the same by the looks of this. Yes, that's just silver with a different tip. This is just 100% purple. Maybe they could have just done a different color for the handle, I'm not too sure. Articulation, the fingers do open up and close. So if this is the first time your experience of this mold, let me show you his articulation. The head will look up and down, it will go all the way around. It does sometimes just get caught on the side, but it will go all the way around. The shoulders will come all the way up, they again will go all the way around, completely unrestricted. The sword gets caught. There's a swivel on the bicep. There's a bit of a swivel on the shoulder. This does move there, but that is mainly for transformation purposes. You've of course got the flexion, which comes all the way up past 90. You've got a wrist swivel as well. You've got a full, do you have a full? Maybe if you just separated the back panel, yes, you could spin that all the way around, but you would have to separate this, which to be honest isn't too difficult. You can just lift that slightly up and then it will go all the way around completely unrestricted. Again, that's up to yourself. These move around, this comes off because that's what the accessories are attached to. The hips do kick all the way up. That's not a skirt, it's a part of the molded plastic that's on it. It will come up past the point of a right angle, and again, same there. Huge knee bend, again, all the way up, and the ankle tilt and rock, etc. So again, as you'd expect, very, very articulate for a Voyager class figure. So as I said, I do like to display my figure slightly differently. So what I'm thinking of doing with this one, you can let me know in the comments what you think it looks like. I don't know if it's going to be too much or not. That, to be fair, I think probably looks okay. So that's probably how I'm going to have them, so they all look relatively different. That is, I say, so this was the first use of the mold, the bludgeon was the second, this was the last. So what I need to do now is just bring in a few other figures just to give you some more comparisons and indeed idea of scale and of height. So let me bring in, that's the Earthrise Prime. In fact, let's bring in both of them so you can just get a sense of how big he is in robot and how big he is compared to the alternate mode. Then we've got a tiny little deluxe Bumblebee. We've got a leader class Swoop, which is great. Let's bring in some more Decepticons. We've got Shockwave. We've got, let me bring in Megatron. Hopefully everything else doesn't fall down with it. Oh, That's really, he's quite big and chunky, that Megatron. There he is. There you go. There's some brilliant Decepticon purple there. And I think, do you know what? I think that's pretty much it to say about it. It is exactly that. It's just a redeco of the first use of the mold of Tarn. I think he looks great though. In fact, no, one more quick thing. The other two that I've reviewed so far, members of the pack. Fourth member coming up very soon. There you go, guys. This is Tarn from the Cyberverse universe from the 4-pack. Let me know what you think, guys. Take care.